And welcome to another issue of NerdFlow Podcast. This is a podcast all about nerding out on the latest and greatest of nerd culture, from video games, anime, comic books, pro wrestling, you name it. We talk about it on NerdFlow Podcast. This is a Press Play Network podcast, of course, so you can go check out other shows like Hip Hop Rejects. And Three Kings will be coming back up very, very soon. So,
hold on, we got to get that straight.
What's up?
Remember, we got a name change. It's
we do, but I still call it Hip Hop Rejects because from a logo standpoint,
the standpoint, okay, I got you.
It ain't really changed on the podcast feed yet, so it's like they be looking for something that don't even exist
yet. I got you.
Yeah. So, but what's up, y'all?
What up with it?
I'm so glad that
what
the week is over. It's over.
Oh gosh. Now it's time to get to the real holiday, Mardi Gras.
If you're from Louisiana.
I feel
yeah, baby.
I really feel like I failed as a friend. That
what?
Royalty has been my friend. Royalty has been my friend for about
some years. long years.
I'm gonna say 15 years. And he's never been to He's never been to New Orleans. I failed as a friend.
Never. Never.
And I've got to. I don't want to go to Mardi Gras anymore, but I got to take him to Mardi Gras. I got to kidnap him. I got to kidnap him from his wife, and he got to go. It's like nobody from the South should never experience.
Wow.
I think I've been to all the, and I think I've been literally been to all of the states itself. Like, been there. That's crazy.
Man, I remember my first time.
What?
Yep.
So, like this, I'm petitioning to make this a group effort. And, like, best hotel to me to stay in which I know it's gonna be like super expensive. It's the DoubleTree right across the street from the mall, right over down from the French Quarter. Like, it's like central, like it's right down from the French Quarter, right down on Canal and all that.
Oh, you trying to bank?
Hey, he gotta get the whole experience.
I mean, like, he gotta get the full experience.
Like, for his first time, you can't have stuff.
Bro, remember yours?
Oh, yes. That was the best year ever. That year.
See, one year, like, it was the best for me because All-Star Weekend fell during Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
So
that's happened twice. I think I've been to one. I didn't go to the other one.
I think I went to the one in 2014.
Right.
Yeah, I went to the one in 2014. And I was still drinking at the time, Lord.
If I go,
yeah, that was a crazy weekend.
Me and my best friend was like, yo, we went to Carmelo Anthony party at the casino. We went to Kevin Durant we went to Carmelo Anthony party at Harris Casino. We went to Kevin Durant's party at another casino. Like, that whole weekend was stupid. Then we went to the All-Star game.
Y'all went to All-Star game too?
Yeah, I posted pictures back in 2014. They had came up on my memories, and I was like, yo, man, like that. We went to the game Sunday. We couldn't get into like the Saturday events or Friday events, but we had tickets because the girl he was with at the time, her brother-in-law was in the D League. I mean, her brother-in-law was in the D League, and he gave us All-Star tickets. So,
cool.
Man, I remember when the All-Star game was here in Houston. Man, I worked at the Galleria then. Oh my goodness, that crap was freaking
man
nuts.
What Bud be saying, and we'll see you in February for the All-Star game.
Man, put it this way. The Galleria was so packed. If you've ever been to the Houston Galleria in your life, it was so packed that they had to shut the mall down because they hit fire code for occupancy.
Wow. Now that's a big mall.
Yes.
I hate
that mall is like 5 blocks long. Like
I hate the Galleria. I really hate the Galleria. Because first, like, why are we here? That's my only question. We're not going. If you only go to the Galleria if you're going to the high end stuff. You can go to Memorial for everything else.
Because black people like to stunt.
Exactly.
Man. When me and
the person
let's tell the truth. Black people like to stunt.
Exactly.
Me and the person I was with went to the Galleria.
It's facts.
I said
#facts.
First of all, looking for parking. I was just like, okay, we're going through all this hell just to park. And then we walked through.
I went through hell parking when I worked there, so yeah, that's everyday thing.
Then we went through the most expensive. I'm like, why we park over here? We're not finna get nothing out this store.
Well,
because it looks pretty.
No, I have not. Man, we could have went to Memorial. We could have went to the mall in Jersey Village. We could have went to anywhere.
Willowbrook.
Hey, Tink.
Yo.
I believe the year that I went with you was the year that my band was performing. It was.
To Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my best friend, she was in the band at the time, and she was not expecting to see me there, so that was like a big surprise. I just hate the fact that I couldn't stay long, but I know I would have had like a whole lot of fun now. But I have their freedom now, so maybe next year they will make it like the 10th anniversary.
Yeah. Aww. Well, I go every year. Have been since college. So USM.
Okay. Tell us the one thing that you look forward to the most when you go to Mardi Gras.
When I go to Mardi Gras, besides the parades, I have to go to the parades. Mm-hmm. If you don't go for anything else, go for the parades, especially if you have like kids. This is like before the madness. Before it goes dark, it's actually a family time. So Royalty, you can bring the kids and your wife. Like it's a family Mardi Gras, and then it's like straight what you see on TV.
Yeah, I remember what happened when it got dark. Do you remember?
It's like, okay, all the kids need to go home now.
My first Mardi Gras experience was at high school. Like the band had went down there. Mm-hmm. Like my last year in band, and hell, I hated shit like band camp and stuff like that, you know. But like my last year in band, we went down there to Mardi Gras, and after that, I was just like, all right. So like we were so restricted, I was like, all right, so this here is not gonna work for me. That long ass march in the parade, all that. No. So my next time was freshman year in college with no restrictions, nobody telling me where I can and can't go. The fact that we were 19 years old did not matter with the liquor.
At all. Oh, and the fact that you could drink it outside too
did not matter at all, because that was my first time having a hand grenade.
Oh my gosh!
To this day, y'all, I do not know how we made it back to our rooms.
I don't remember getting back to the hotel where we were.
Goodness.
Yeah, and I drove. I was the one who drove us there. I'm like, so how do we get back? They were like, Tink, you drove.
You
drove the car here. I'm like,
the grace.
When? All I know is they said you were singing these boots were made for walking. Like the whole song? They're like, yes, the entire song.
Even the Spanish version?
I can't tell y'all something I was told I did. I guess
man.
I just remember after the second and a half grenade, I don't remember anything.
I know I remember my first 2 drinks, and I don't remember what else I drank after that. I had a hand grenade and a hurricane. And according to my friends, I had a random lady's breast in my mouth. I just stopped in the middle of walking down canal and just peed right there on, like, I was just doing a handful of stuff that.
Oh God!
When I woke up, like when I woke up, like I was just like, what, like the Hangover movie?
Yeah.
I literally feel like I had one of those experiences where I woke up and was like, what the hell happened last night?
All right, man. Should we got see? This is what we was talking about before we came on, man. Like, we need to know from the listeners, man. Like, do y'all want us to do a Patreon? Because this type of stuff we can put in a Patreon, man. Y'all can have this type of content to hear all this crazy non-nerd stuff that we've either.
I mean, but you know what? It just lets our listeners know that you could be a nerd
and go do some.
Got that right.
But we live regular lives and we do the same stuff everybody else do. It's just like we're not all just at home stuck in front of the computer watching anime all day.
Yeah. All right, man. I want to first and foremost, who we got on tonight with the crew? Who we got? We got Young Flat and the rest.
Oh yeah. We
got Tink.
Yo.
And we got Briario as well.
The Artesian is here.
Right, here's the Artesian.
That man sound like the Black Shepherd ID.
Make me some water. Bottle me some Artesian water. I get tired of buying Fiji.
Oh man.
You do know Artesian means you use everything. Use your hands and your eyes, which fits perfectly with Briario. You do your research.
All right.
Hey, I also know Fiji is artesian water.
So we got a couple members out tonight. Dope is taking a break from all things social media, which we always recommend like doing that. We got Snap. Snap is, of course,
at work,
working and stuff like that, and so is Angry
like the
as well.
Rihanna song.
But first and foremost, before we get into things, man, please make sure you guys follow the Facebook, Twitter, the Instagram. You can search NerdFlow or NerdFlow Podcast. We got X NerdFlow Podcast. Just send it over to nerdflowpodcast@gmail.com. We have this super duper dope cookout Black History superhero villain picture on our community page that you should definitely go check out. That's part of NerdFlow Art. We also got the YouTube channel. Search NerdFlow. Trying to hit that 100 subscribers so we can get our official URL. And as I mentioned before, we got the Facebook group popping. You can just search NerdFlow, and it's a private group, so you have to be approved to jump in because we don't need no bots and no spammers in there. And we also still got 50% off NerdFlow t-shirts still going. Just use promo code NF2020. We also got some hoodies in there because it's been cold lately across the world. So kind of thought to make some do some hoodies. We got like a kind of like a classic material, which is a little bit economical.
Oh, we
also got a premium hoodie as well. We have that on there as well. You say what, Brian?
That's what I just said. Like, we got some premium going on here.
Yeah, we got some premium hoodies. You can tell it's premium because trust me, if you look at the black on the default, that black is a whole lot heavier black in that premium than it is on the other one. Like you probably want that premium one.
So
when
what you're saying is you could watch the premium and the black won't turn to gray.
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. I'm pretty confident about that one. And then we also have our affiliate superhero stuff. You can support the show if you like buying. If you listen to this show, of course you like graphic T-shirts, comic book, odds and ends and memorabilia, all that good stuff, Funkos. You can head over to Superhero Stuff. There's a special link in the description of the show. If you guys are avid buyers from Superhero Stuff, you can buy using our link and it'll kick us back a commission to help the show out and support the show. So, all right, man. So, Redbox launches a new streaming service with free live TV. That's why they got rid of their video game section, because they needed that money to start a streaming service.
Wow.
Wow.
Where is this? Is it? I'm assuming the app is probably only mobile, because I know I have a smart TV and I've yet to see that in the App Store at all. Like Redbox streaming.
I think you have to go online.
Oh, Netflix. They ain't big enough to get no app yet, but they stream via the browser. That's what it sounds like.
Right.
See, that's what I've always liked with Redbox, man. I've always maybe it's just me because I'm just an introvert and I'm lazy as hell when it comes down to doing that type of stuff. But I've never understood the idea of me standing in front of a box trying to figure out what I want to watch at home, when even Redbox gave you the option to just go to their website, find the nearest Redbox station near you, reserve it, and just type in your special code, and you just freaking take your movie and go on about your day. You still see people just standing there. I don't know, which one should I get? Should I get this one? Should I get this one? Freaking burning up or freezing or in the rain. If you stay in Houston, you're probably experiencing all three, but besides the point. But yeah.
Well, I tell y'all how crazy shit is. I was cleaning out some stuff and I found the old VHS tape.
You found the old Blockbuster tape.
Yes, I did.
Wow.
You can go take it back to the Blockbuster. You go take it back to the Blockbuster. I think it's Maine that still has
one.
Last name.
Yeah, it's all the way up there.
Hey, at least you pay no tax on your Blockbuster movie.
It was crazy. I was like, well, this one they didn't get back. I wondered did I had it. Well, now Blockbuster was doing DVDs, so.
Bro, there were several that they didn't get back from me, along with the library too. I don't feel like taking this back. I ain't doing it. What name can I put this under now? Can I put this new membership Blockbuster on? Okay, I'm gonna use this name.
I'm scared to walk into the public library in town. Shit, they might.
They probably got your face on
the. Seriously?
What? The library?
Yeah, nah, he's scared. I'll go in with him. I'll be wild.
Be reading the book as you walking through. This is belong to y'all. Been had this for a while.
Be like, man, I had been in the public library since junior high school. So
yeah, same here, man. I haven't been to a library in forever. I mean, at this point, it's like with most books, but it's still like with books, man. It's like that's one thing about like ebooks or e-reading in a sense. They can't beat the feeling of holding a book. It's just something about it. That's almost like one thing that I feel like I can. My movies, my video games can be digital and they not take up a lot of space, but like just physical books is just something about them that you just makes it better.
Because like I tried doing the Audible thing.
Yeah,
and it just didn't
Audible
work.
Is kind of like more like I own the book, but I don't have a lot of time. But I also want to like you probably do like Audible, like clean the house and you want to hear a book that you've been reading. And you just want.
If I'm cleaning the house, I'm playing music. But
saying, some people do books when they clean the house. I know a lot of people that do that.
I love books. I like the smell. I even like the smell of books. Mm-hmm. Like if you go in like half price books or Barnes and Nobles, just the smell is like calming to me. I guess it's just that hardback. You can cuddle up with a good book and just sit in your own little chair.
Versus just having like a flat
or a
iPad
chase
and
next
then
to a
just
fireplace.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I had my apartment in Memphis, I had a fireplace, and I used to like especially in the wintertime, sit by my fireplace, and, drink a cup of coffee, and that's what I had started getting into Harry Potter books.
Shoot, that was the best time.
Trying to be civilized.
Oh.
I only read the only book I read was The Sorcerer's Stone, and by the time I finished reading The Sorcerer's Stone, that's when the movie started coming out, and I was just like, well, shit, let me just watch the movies. They coming out every year.
Oh,
that's how I got my family into it. I was reading the books. They was like, what's going to happen? I'm like, okay, I'm not finna tell you. I'm still reading it. And then that's when everybody started taking the books from me, and that's how we just became Harry Potter fans. Everybody got the books and went straight to the movies after.
Yeah. Being me and my I guess my coworker in the warehouse, because there's only really two of us that run the part of the warehouse that I work in, and we were talking about that. And like he's like, it's like now it's like the thing to be a nerd, and we talk about so much stuff on a daily basis in forums that infuriates him about like people like they'll be in forums and they've watched this thing, but they don't know anything else aside from the visual like movies and TV shows. They haven't read a comic. They don't know anything. They don't even deep dive into it a little bit more once they've actually watched the show to kind of learn more. They just like, he showed me this whole conversation thread of him like somebody to tell him more about, if you watch Titan season 2, Deathstroke's son Jericho. It was like a whole thread about him just wanting him to just, can you just tell me? It's like, and he's like, dude, you can just wiki it and it'll be better than me trying to just type all freaking 1,200 words of what I'm trying to tell you right now.
Man, I told this guy a while back, like, dude, if you didn't collect comics back in the day, and like you didn't collect comics, you didn't collect Marvel cards or the action figures, or try to get the little comic books that came in the card packs or stuff like that, I was like, bro, you a new nerd and you only doing it because you seeing that it's actually dope. You was one of those people back in the day that made fun of people like us, and you can't tell me you weren't. I was like back in 1990, 1991, I was drawing Dragon Ball Z characters and people were like, what the hell are those? Like, that's not how nobody looks. So, like, I mean, I don't be I understand people grow to accept new things and stuff like that, but don't come into this situation trying to explain to me like I'm the dummy and like I don't know what's going on. Like this dude, I was watching this YouTube video talking about Boruto, and like dude was just messing up everybody's name, and I was like highly upset. He called Sadara Sarada. He called Mitsuki. Oh, wow. He called Mitsuki Mitsuki. He called Sasuke Sasuke. Like I'm gonna find that video and send it to y'all and post it on the post it on the community page.
See, this is why we should do a YouTube channel and talk about this stuff so we can correct this stuff, correct?
Like, I was highly upset, man, and it's just those new people that come through and think they know better than the Japanese how the name should be said. Like, all thing you gotta do is watch the sub, and you know what the name sound like. Don't go watch the dub, even though they get the name right on the dub. Right, like people don't even want to watch subs. Like, that's how you know how the name, how the correct name and everything is said.
Hey, so on Netflix, have y'all watched the it's the documentary about toys, and it's like different toys each
from different generations.
Yeah, I think I watched the one
I haven't
on.
seen it.
It is good, man. Okay, I'll recommend these. These are the ones I'm recommending. Watch the one on Ninja Turtles. Watch the one on Power Rangers, and I watched the one on He-Man. And everything is like. Secondly, it was just like a trip down memory lane for me because I'm like, for Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, like I own that. I own that. I need to go back to my grandfather's house to see if he still has it because I looked on Amazon and I'm like, hey, I could be rolling in some money right now if I still had this stuff.
Like
the He-Man episode was messed up to me, don't you think?
Oh man,
the origin of He-Man is just a bunch of robbery and thievery.
Yeah,
the dude
that's why I say it's messed up.
The guy that claimed he created them from the jump, soon as they showed him, I'm like, oh, he crazy.
And then you know what the jacked up part is? Like I had He-Man toys. Like He-Man came even in the comic books. He-Man had an axe. You know what I'm saying? He-Man had this little fur thing. Like in the cartoon, He-Man never had an axe. Nope. And like if you go back and watch the He-Man cartoons, like the first He-Man cartoons, like they really are trash.
I did not realize that. Like the Ninja Turtles. So they had literally like one comic, but like I did not know that all like the villains and stuff literally came just purely off of action figures.
All the villains came off action figures. Like Shredder wasn't even in the original comics.
No, what it was, he was. They killed him off. What it was in the first original comic, they killed him like the first issue. And it was over and done with.
Well, what's up with this Green Ranger Shredder? What the fuck happened? What?
So there's a crossover comic currently going right now. Ninja Turtles, it's Ninja Turtles and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers crossover comic that's currently going on right now.
Okay, I remember when the Ninja Turtles crossed over into the Power Rangers in Space series.
Yeah, so this is kind of the equivalent of that, but in the comic version. And there's a bunch of stuff going on, and so no, not to get too spoilery about because I'm going to be I'm reading it, but I know a little bit about it. So basically, Tommy infiltrates the Foot Clan to basically rescue like a friend, but initially they find out the Power Rangers find out like they had no clue, they didn't know anything about it. And Tommy puts the Ninja Turtles on they because he's like the only one in the Foot Clan that didn't have a mask on. And he just like two-piece Raphael, and then they was wondering like, who's this foot soldier with no mask on? I already know. I can feel Young's just.
I know, just boiling over there.
Right,
he's just boiling.
Why can't it be the Red Rangers? Like, bro, look.
This is sad.
What I wanted was somebody to tell me that Shredder. I really wanted somebody to tell me Shredder killed Tommy, took his morphin, and became the Green Ranger.
Well, no, he
That's
did.
all I wanted.
Well, no, some of that did kind of sort of happen. Like I said, I won't spoil any, but he did take his. He found out Shredder did find out his plan, and he took his morpher. So, which is why he morphed into the. But then
he should have killed him.
But then the comic ends with because Shredder takes all the powers from the Rangers can't morph from the morphing grid, and they can't, and so it ends with they're in the command center, and all of a sudden the Turtles in April have morphers in their hands. So, and that's like the cliffhanger for the next issue. So, I'm actually kind of stoked to see what that looks like with the Ninja Turtles and April.
That sounds very
morphers. I'm just saying.
First of all,
kind of dope.
I don't give Tommy that much clout where he gonna two-piece and not Raphael.
Hey man, somebody wrote it. Somebody did. Okay.
See,
okay,
man,
what's next?
That's the unrealistic shit concerning
right? Because he gonna go on.
He beat Scorpion and he beat Ryu. Like this shit here don't even like no that
right?
Like that shit ain't even feasible.
Your boy Jason didn't want then wasn't about that Power Ranger life, so they was like, look, Jason Day Frank, bro, all right, you the one.
Like, but no, like, come on, y'all. Y'all really think that Tommy gonna beat Scorpion? Come on, man, be realistic about this. And Tommy gonna beat Ryu.
Well, that was the Scorpion thing. That was somebody fanboying on.
I thought that
Jason
had,
David Frank dumbass was in the.
I thought that was alternate when we watched it on Bad in the Sun. Was it not alternate? They had different endings.
Yeah,
so
I think that was one that had. I think that was one that had different. Okay, let's move on because with his Six Ranger hate. I don't even call it the green and the white Ranger. It's the Six Ranger hate. That's what that is. New expansion announced for the Division 2 called Warlords of New York. They were doing a big revamp on the game as a whole, like just like the loot system is primarily the biggest thing. Because the biggest problem I've always had with the Division since Division 1 is really been the loot game, because you can pick up the same weapon name, the same thing, or a weapon with the same type of like real life gun name, and it's like, why do I care? What makes this so much better than the other one I picked up? Of course, you see the color and you see the rarity. That's one thing, and power and gear power and all that good stuff. But they said they're gonna make it a little bit more simplified, which I really do like, because that was always my biggest thing. I would have like a crap ton of guns, and I'm like, I don't. What if this is really good? I don't want to get rid of it. So it's like, it was always that kind of thing. But also too, it's still on sale. So for anybody that hasn't picked it up, you can literally get Division 2 for $3 freaking on PlayStation Network and Xbox Live. So, or if you want to, in the next 2 weeks, you want to just go balls to the wall and grind through the additional expansion part, you pretty much pay $18 for a $119 expansion that was out a year ago, which is a super crazy deal. So, along with other games that are games as a hobby category, Anthem kind of gave wind of that they are working on Anthem, which is kind of sort of code name Anthem 2.0, Anthem Next, that they're doing a complete overhaul on the game itself. We kind of knew something like that was going on because there was just a lot of moving parts, a lot of big people in BioWare moving out, and other people moving in to kind of just turn this game around. So no further updates for Anthem on that part, but we'll see. I just really hope with the Division 2, because see, the big thing is, it's an expansion, but what y'all gonna do after the expansion is the biggest thing as far as for like games that are classified as like games of a hobby, or a lot of people say like Destiny like games or whatever. That's always the thing. How you gonna keep your community's interest, because you got some people that will burn through content in like a day, and then they like, what we gonna do next? So
let me jump on Square Enix case right quick.
Oh Lord.
So I kind of figured out why we have so many delays.
Oh yeah, you were saying that they was what were they? You said they were doing like documentaries or something like that, or?
Yes. So there's this app, kind of like an educational app called Curiosity Stream, and I got it. Our cable company gave it to us free for a year, so I got it. And granted, I like a lot of these documentaries, but a lot of them are computer animated documentaries. And guess who on most of these documentaries the main animators are? Square Enix.
Say Square Enix, or currently working on Final Fantasy VII Remake.
These documentaries are like, the graphics and everything are top notch. They like very, very dope. And I'm like, you could have been putting this into a game. But I guess the people that came with bigger money, I guess they was like, yo, like, we probably gonna get a couple of dollars off each one of these games we sell that we putting all this work into, or we can
Yeah,
get.
they don't really, because like with Square Enix doesn't necessarily. They're very old school, I would say, with a lot of their games. Because a lot of their stuff, they don't really believe in downloadable content and stuff like that. I'm kind of surprised that people don't champion them for not being that type of company that like a lot of the gaming industry is, which is all about, either some form of battle pass or DLC content.
Microtransactions.
Microtransaction DLC content. But in a sense, they don't really get held up high for that. Honestly, I think partly due to it because one, their games end up getting delayed because they take so damn long. But yeah, so I kind of did notice that about them. But yeah, dude, we've been waiting on Final Fantasy VII remake since 2013 when it got announced during the. Actually, you know what? Longer than that, because didn't they show the remake trailer during the PS3, or was it 4? I think it was 3.
I think it was 3 too.
Yeah, I think it was 3 too. So yeah, it's been. If I probably go look and do the work to try to find out, it's probably cresting on 15 years too. But anyway, Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey went through a name change over its release to Harley Quinn's Birds of Prey, which I think kind of should have been the title to begin with, but that's here nor there.
There was nothing wrong with the title.
I think they didn't. Because Birds of Prey really isn't about her, and so Birds of Prey is more about Canary and her little group. Yeah. So that's why they.
But I think it was kind of more for them. I think this is how I thought about it. I thought about it more on the lines of Harley Quinn is because we have to think of it from a non-comic book nerd person that's not deeply involved in knowing all this stuff. Because from a consumer standpoint, and they're going to see a movie like, oh, that's the character from that Suicide Squad movie. That's kind of how they, from a marketing standpoint, they have to relate that, like, oh, because I think with Birds of Prey it was kind of like, here we go, because you know how some people feel about the comic book superhero movie genre in the movie industry. Oh, here we go again with another superhero movie, and you know how people feel, and then you also got the machos of the world that don't like women movies and stuff like that. So that's they kind of had like 3 different crowds probably betting against them. Then you also got the people that just don't give DC a chance in the world. So you got that too. So, but overall, though, I heard it was a good movie. Anybody get a chance to go see it?
Yeah, I saw it. I give it a 7.
If you had to scale it, because I mean, in the top movies of DC, you got you would say, I'm just gonna no in particular order. Shazam, Wonder Woman, Aquaman are like the top 3 good movies in this particular. They don't even call it DCEU, but like the current state of this DC movie thing they got going on. Where would it land?
Because I enjoyed
gosh. Higher than Suicide Squad.
Oh, we know that for sure. So with Suicide Squad, Black Mask should have been the villain for Suicide Squad.
I agree.
He should have been the villain for Suicide Squad. He was a perfect villain for Suicide Squad. The Enchantress was just not. Should have been Justice League Dark. There should have been Constantine. I said this many times. Should have been Constantine. Should have been Dracula. Should have been whoever else in Justice League Dark should have went against that particular enemy.
I mean, I feel like Deathstroke could have been the villain in Suicide Squad too. Yeah.
Anybody that was grounded would have been perfect. They shouldn't have been fighting they shouldn't have been fighting anything supernatural. It was just a fight that just like, even when I looked at when they got to the end fight, it's like, this is I know it's a comic book movie, and I tend to have very good suspicion of belief, but no, not this one.
Exactly.
I'm just like, this is my issue with Batman movies, period. Especially all the new Batman movies. You got a perfectly good antagonist in Deathstroke, in Hush. Like, come on. Like, these people, these people that don't require too much makeup or nothing.
Nothing.
That's gonna
No
give us a
CGI.
damn, like somebody that's gonna actually keep Batman really on his damn toes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
very true.
Yep.
Hush of all people is like the biggest.
All thing
like,
you gotta do is just wrap some tissue around Hush head.
It's like, dude, the biggest twist with Hush is that the fact that he once he does plastic surgery on himself, he looks like Bruce Wayne. Could you imagine a movie where he just messes his life up as Bruce Wayne because they think it's him, but it's not him?
I'm saying, like, Hush could be like 3 whole movies.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like it's so much. It's just like I said. Yeah, it's so much that
They
keep going back to they keep going back to the same people.
It did Deathstroke, like the fact that Deathstroke gets a hold in certain universes, gets a hold of Robin and end up training Robin some more after Bruce.
Yeah, the Deathstrokes in all from Arrowverse. Well, I guess you can say at this point Titans is Arrowverse as well too. But both of the Deathstrokes from the Arrow show and the one from Titans, they're both very, very good. And so whatchamacallit would have like literally had to knock that out the park to be. But like you said, Young, I think Deathstroke would have been perfect. Would have been perfect. That would have been an easy way if they. I don't know if they even knew that. I can't think of the actor's name. If he was kind of slated to be Deathstroke at the time doing Suicide Squad, but if he was already known, they should have just threw him in there. I mean, he would have been like hands down. That movie would have jumped up on a scale of likability like so much more if he would have if he would have been shoot even. The whack Les Luthor that we got, he would have been perfect. I mean, like they're just grounded characters that would have just worked a lot better with Suicide Squad. It really worked so much better. Sonic has been breaking freaking records, and I have to say I'm glad that this one time where the studio listened to the fans to make a change, and it reflected in the actual movie revenue for them. So
I mean, it's doing so good. They talking about a sequel.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a sequel, especially after the after credits. I give that. I enjoyed that more than I did Birds of Prey. Definitely, off top.
So just tell me this: did he turn gold?
No, he didn't turn cold.
Oh, okay.
But
so
the part that the rings, he loses his rings. One part though, and that was pretty cool because you get to hear the ring sound. Ding.
I know. From what I'm gathering, I guess if they do a part 2, they gonna put his support characters in it.
Yeah, Tails will probably more likely show up. Yeah.
Y'all just have to see the after credits.
Oh, Tails probably does show up because it's just. Let's be real here. I know the Sonic 1 game is cool, but Sonic and Tails is the most popular. So
that's what my kids were waiting on. They were like, "Okay, this is cool. So what is that sidekick? Let's see the sidekick." But
y'all know what the thing about Tails is, if you play as Sonic 2. Tails gets in the way.
Yeah, he always does. Even in the video game, he has to get in the way in the movie.
In Sonic 4, when you play in Sonic 4, you basically need Tails to play the game.
All I gotta say is, if we get to Sonic 3,
Knuckles,
and we doing Knuckles, I don't know who's gonna be the composer for this movie, but you got to use that music, but you gotta turn it up to the 2020 whatever level to make it relevant. That's all I'm saying.
Basically, he's saying you got lick on that bitch.
Well,
Knuckles was always my favorite.
Same here.
Did you guys? So you guys haven't seen it yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I'm
gonna take my son to go see it at some point.
Oh, it's gonna be so awesome.
Did you see the Easter egg at the beginning of the movie?
Somebody said something about Super Mario.
No. Well, no.
Somebody said there was a Super Mario Easter egg.
What Easter egg?
Either that or somebody was reaching.
At the
or
very
clickbaiting.
beginning of the movie, when you see him in his world on the
Yeah. I saw
Green-
that like
Green
the trailer
Hill.
part. Yeah.
I mean, go ahead and drop the Easter egg.
Exactly. Because
Like, you doing all this mystery, go ahead and say it.
I was saying it because y'all haven't seen it yet. I wanted to.
I don't care, I'm still gonna see it.
Well, we actually get a glimpse of Knuckles
Oh, really? Okay.
When?
at the beginning of the movie.
Now, see, I'm gonna have to watch the movie again.
I saw it twice.
Well, yeah, you was looking for detail on that second round.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was just watching the movie.
You
I'm
just
trying to listen for the Sega. I'm trying to find all that.
Right?
At
Yeah.
what part?
The very beginning.
Okay.
When
I'm
he's
gonna
a
have to-
Baby
kid?
Sonic. Yeah, as in Baby Sonic. Did you
And
get a look at the tribe that was shooting at him?
Okay.
Take the mask off. What do you see?
Okay.
Okay, too much. We said too much. We've gone too far.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Batman.
I just really feel like they go back to the original premise of what Knuckles was supposed to be. Knuckles supposed to have like a Jamaican accent and everything like that.
So basically, he's supposed to be in the black hedgehog.
Basically.
Just don't
The head
tiptoe.
hands.
Don't tiptoe around.
The head hands.
That had hands. Because when they first showed, because in the cartoon, I mean in the game, when they first showed Knuckles came through like Sonic running up and Knuckles jab his ass and knock all the Chaos Emeralds out of him.
So he's Bushmaster.
Damn, what was that line Bushmaster had? They call him Bushmaster. What
is it? Oh damn! Now I want to know what that.
Damn, I gotta know what they say. They call him Bushmaster. Damn. Hold on.
Clock?
No.
Oh man. All right. Batman Red Light trailer and sneak peek. Is this a animated movie?
No. The Robert Pattinson Batman.
Oh, the live action. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm thinking the red light. This is just a theory of mine, but I'm thinking the red light is to deflect the color of the costume, because I'm thinking more that this is gonna be an Arkham Asylum type Batman, and the suit is gonna be gray.
I heard about the whole gray thing. I think it's supposed to be gray as well. So I'm wondering, is this the same? Because this is like some time ago. Because Ben Affleck wrote the script for what was supposed to be at the time the Batman. Then when he dropped out, they brought Matt Reeves in. I wondered if they basically keep the same thing and they just modified it. Because Affleck was basically, because Affleck in Justice League was like anybody that's played the Arkham game, that dude was the Arkham Batman,
Right.
So,
and if you look at the suit, it looks like the bat symbol can like come out and be a gadget or like a batarang or even the gun.
yeah, some people say that's it's the gun from the guy that killed his parents. He used it to make the symbol.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Wow.
Which that's a nice little touch if that's a thing to do it.
Comic book reference.
Right.
But yeah, man, we can't wait. I can't wait to see what I can't wait to see the trailer. But if it is like any hint as far from a fight choreography standpoint, anywhere close, similar, near to how Ben Affleck fought in Justice League, then that's gonna be a plus for me. I just love that aggressive fighting style that Ben Affleck had. So, and if he can pick up that same thing, then it's gonna be pretty dope.
Right.
All right, then we got WandaVision. What to expect with WandaVision? There's so many people that are just like, I don't understand what this is. She's gone freaking nuts, and she's literally, Feige already hinted she's gonna be a villain, so she has to go freaking nuts before she can, how she's gonna become evil, at least for a little bit, or however long they decide to have her be evil. So, but a lot of this stuff is going to really be taking place in her mind. I think the Scarlet Witch thing is just, the costume, the comic book costume is literally just like an Easter egg type of thing. Kind of like, example, Luke Cage when he got out of prison, they had him go through the freaking laundry and look like the freaking original Luke Cage concept art. So it's like, yeah. So it's kind of one of those things. I have a feel that's what it's going to be. Same thing with like, Vision and all that stuff being there. I think a lot of it's like all in our head. So,
I know what Bushmaster said now.
What's up?
They call him Bushmaster. The stone the building refused.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that. So, okay, I got a question for y'all, and then we're gonna wrap 128. Have y'all heard about the stuff with Chadwick and Black Panther 2?
No, what's up?
So, Chadwick is not happy with the direction they're taking Black Panther. He's contracted to do 2, but we may not get him. If they do a 3, we may not get him in a 3, because supposedly the plan is to have Shuri take the mantle of Black Panther, which, yes, it happens in the comic, but it's kind of too soon to kind of do that type of storyline.
Not really. Right. Chadwick is almost 50.
But he's not. But he's just not. From what we've been hearing, though, from what they've been saying, like he's not like happy with the direction. He doesn't want to do.
Did that. They couldn't have did that in Endgame. Like sure, he could have stayed alive and took on the mantle while he was gone.
That's what I feel like they just could have did, just to get it out their system.
I mean, like I see where they going with it though. Like I understand his plight. Well, I see where they're going with it. Like a lot of these guys, especially how long it's taking these movies to come out, a lot of these guys getting older. So eventually, by the third movie, it's time to move on to somebody else. Because the third movie gonna be she gonna be down to 30 by the time the third movie come out.
Yeah, I do kind of think that. And now that Tink is on here, I do kind of feel like again, I feel like. I'm never ever against like women getting opportunity for anything. I'm so cool with that. But I do feel like Marvel is kind of reaching, kind of sort of like DC's doing with their TV shows in certain areas. Like they're just reaching hella hard with something. It's like, okay, we got Captain Marvel. Then you are, who else we getting? We got the Black Widow movie. But then also it's like, okay, now you want to reach and we're doing Thor: Love and Thunder, which we're cool with that. That's fine. Cause we've had a lot of Thor movies to kind of get to that point, and to do the female Thor, which is the current story arc in the comic books. But it's like with the Black Panther, it's like, no, we don't mind Shuri taking the mantle, but it's like it's just so soon. Like we feel like. As long as we had Tony in the MCU, I felt like we should have had Black Panther, and we're gonna have Spidey and all this stuff for that long. Like, why can't he be around that long?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I get that his age is one thing.
That's the thing with Chadwick. Chadwick age is gonna play a factor in it.
But black don't crack. Anyway.
No, I don't think age has anything to do with it. Look how long Robert Downey Jr. was Iron Man.
But he was playing Iron Man though.
Okay.
Iron Man is mostly computer generated. Only thing he had to really play was Tony Stark. Chadwick got to be in that suit.
Yeah, but I mean, you got stunt doubles and all that stuff for that, man. You only got to he only really got to be around for the speaking roles. It's a choice of the actor itself to want to do. If you want to be crazy and do stunts and all that stuff, you don't necessarily have to.
Exactly, and you're in a mask. You don't even know if they have the same body type. That's all you worried about.
Yeah. Yeah, I just kind of feel like I don't know if he's like, because I know a lot of people saying that was coming out saying like he's not on board to do any like Disney Plus shows or anything like that. He doesn't want to do any. He said it's basically he doesn't want to do any of that. So it's like what happened? So it's like,
So you mean so basically him and Ryan Coogler are clashing, or is it him and Disney?
we don't know. We don't. It's not really clear of like of what. It just makes it sound like that he just doesn't want to. You know, he's not happy with the route that is going, or that he wants to, or is it a thing where it's like how some actors get? They don't want to be known for one particular role. They don't want to be like and see Chadwick in the street and somebody doesn't know his real name and they be like, "Oh, hey, it's Black Panther." You know, some people don't. Some actors don't want that. Don't want that
Bro.
on them. They don't want to be kind of be typecast. There's some actors that just you should accept being typecast because that's all we're gonna ever know you for. Tom Welling, but anyway,
I mean, like honestly, I'd rather be called Black Panther than James Brown.
right?
Exactly.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, he done played Jackie Robinson, James Brown, Thurgood Marshall, T'Challa.
At this point, you're gonna be called the historical black guy.
That
does historical black movies. That's basically what you have a point. You do have a point, young.
He's just like right now. Chadwick is a more popular Leon.
Yeah.
True that.
Because y'all know Leon done played every famous singer down in history.
Yep, true that. All right, man. We're gonna get ready to bring this issue of NerdFlow to a close. Bringing issue 128 to a close. Please make sure you guys like, follow, subscribe. This issue of NerdFlow will go up live on the YouTube channel literally in minutes once we hit the stop button, so you can check it out on YouTube. You got YouTube Premium. You can check us out. If you do that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You can get notifications when these episodes go live minutes after we record them. And then also we're on all major podcast platforms, and we are here every single week on Sundays. But today is Tuesday, so it's just a little different day because we was sick and I had a root canal and some other stuff. But anyway, but yeah, so we'll catch you guys on next issue of NerdFlow on issue 129.
Holla at y'all. All right, peace.